Hey, party people, it's your girl. I am in the building. I'm going to go ahead and get this show started for you guys. I hope you guys are having a chilled Friday. Hope it's a good one for you guys. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Countdown.
Staring at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before.
Hey, y'all. So I am officially in the building. We're going to get started with tonight. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but they are going ham. It's Skyforks night tomorrow, I think. So they are going heavy with the fireworks at the minute. It's a little bit cray-cray here. They're going off. They're enjoying the Friday night spirit. I hope you guys are having a good Friday so far. I hope it's treating you guys well. I see you guys have already sort of got the list together, which is dope. We love that. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Let me know who's in the room. Say hey if you are present and with us, because I'm about to get started with the readings, guys. Oh, guys, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. So hopefully November is treating you guys well. Dang, the list is closed already, y'all. Let's see what the list is looking like. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. I think the list is practically closed. Booby needs to be added to the list. Gypsy, I'm doing girl. Hello, angelic love. I'm honestly just I'm kind of like just settling back. Thank you. I felt like sprucing myself up tonight. I've been such a recluse, actually. I feel like I'm still adjusting to my new vibrations. Life after surgery. So I'm still adjusting to everything. Getting into the vibe of new me. I guess that's what we're doing. We're getting into that vibe, whatever that is. Who knows? I guess we'll figure it out. Hey, Smaragda. Okay. Who have we got on the list first? We've got Mina on the list first. Mina, if you are here, my love, definitely throw your question out there. I don't know if you've already put your question out because I know there's a major time difference. So hopefully you are still in the building. 2 spots left. Wow, that happened very quickly. I hadn't even got in here yet. Oh, thank you. This is what happens when I take my braids out. I usually just tomboy it for a while. It's actually quick and easy to get from one transition to the next. So yeah. Yeah, guys. Gypsy's doing the roll call. Who's in the building? Who's here, guys? Because I'm looking to like dash straight in and out tonight. Hopefully, that's the intention. But I wasn't intending for that to mean that nobody's here. Guys, get your messages, okay? Because I came in today and I said to God, whatever you need to kind of relay, whatever's on their hearts, let's lighten their burden. Hey, Yusra. How are you doing? Come on, guys. If you're not in the room, we're going to have to start taking... Okay, Gypsy, I feel you. I'm going to go on to you, and because I'm sure you're probably right up there on the list. I don't know where the list is. Yeah, I don't see Mina. Abhay, Shruti, not here. Sakshi, no confirmation of their details. So I'm going to go and get into your love reading in that case, Gypsy. And then we'll kind of see whoever wanders into the room after that point, or whoever was on the list. And we'll kind of take it from there. I'm being drawn to the romance cards firstly. So I'm going to pull those and clarify some stuff with the tarot. All good, my love, all good. You're in the building, right? We'll just kind of dive into it. So Gypsy wants a love reading for the month of November. What do you guys see in love for Gypsy during this month? Let's make it clear as well so we can give some guidance on some stuff, right? Thank you, guys. Okay, it's pretty clear. Right. Chocolate covered rosé. I think it can be added to the list. I don't know who's actually here from the list, so we might need to get a new list started, guys. I don't know what's going on. Smaragda is here, so I think Smaragda is here. I'm not sure, to be fair. I think so. I think it's all pretty. Yeah, Smaragda is here, so we'll kind of move along the list. You can be added to the list, and we'll redivert. Clarify this for me. So for this month, Gypsy, yeah, if you're here, just kind of like raise your hand, put something in the chat. Good. Thank you, Smaragda. So we can get started with a new list and get everything organized. Right, so we've got some unrequited love. While you guys are doing that, Gypsy, we've got some unrequited love stuff going on. We're going to clarify that with the tarot. Okay. Oh, there's a lot going on with this. Okay, it's the whole story, girl. Right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good news and interesting news. So you're definitely sort of holding down the vibes with like the Queen of Wands energy, which lets me know that you're actually very sort of like cool, calm, and collected during the season in terms of the whole romance situation. You're pretty determined for the most part to kind of like get clarity on any situation that's kind of still unresolved. Not necessarily for yourself, because I think you're pretty clear on where you are with certain things in terms of that place, but I think it may be a situation of clarifying any mixed signals or miscommunication about intentions for the most part. So I think that that's what the unrequited love theme is actually all about for this month. Let's see. Sorry, I'm like prepping all of the cards because there was a story behind this whole thing, girl. There's like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing. Let me just receive it so I can gain perspective and then I can give you the download. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. So from what I'm seeing on the cards with the situation, it's kind of like dealing with, like I was saying to you before, this unrequited love situation where it's not necessarily enough attraction or chemistry to really take the relationship to where it needs to be. So there's certain, I don't want to say conversations per se, because that sounds like very basic and cliche, but I think there's certain dialogue that needs to sort of take place that may sort of occur during this month, where it's like lines are blurry on the situation. It's like, what's really sort of happening here? Not really too sure about what the intention is with the situation. I think it's kind of like wanting to be able to like move forward intentionally and having that communication there as far as like, hey, what are you here for? And I do see that there is some tension, I guess, around being able to have like this conversation for clarity. And that's going to sort of like be the energy during the month, the tension of whether or not there's the full clarity. That's kind of going to be the undertone theme. And ultimately, it seems like moving forward, there is a bit of a withdrawal type situation. Oh, thank you. We've got a new list together. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a withdrawal situation, kind of like moving. I want to say this from like the third week, because I'm seeing like a 2 week channel between the 14th and 28th of November. Things start to really kind of shift, where it's more of a being withdrawn about the situation, because it's like not necessarily getting the answers that one's kind of like asking for. There isn't really that transparency or that clarity. It still kind of feels a little bit confusing. So I guess it's a case of navigating through that dynamic with the situation. Danny B, you are funny. A loser, but funny. I shall block them. Thank you. I didn't even actually sort of see that they were here. What a way to spend your Friday night, huh? Okay. Sorry, guys. We're doing a little bit of a cleanse in terms of what's going on here. I think this one, these are all like troll accounts, I guess. They didn't have anything better to do with their Friday night, so they're here. Okay. We've been selected, guys. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually amused that people actually like spend their time doing these things. It's actually pretty sad, but I get it. I guess they're entertained. Okay. You just spammed the whole thing for what, really? Viper, that's exactly what you are. We're gonna block you. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of spammers tonight. Like, yes, you will have to go back and listen. I'm so sorry, my love. They have just swarmed us tonight. I don't know if these are bots or what, but they're coming in hot and strong. Okay. We've got... I think I have things to do, actually. I'm here doing the thing that I'm doing, and you're just here just to be here. Okay? Let's get that part clear. I'm doing me. You're here. Trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Let's see how many can we get rid of. Okay, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. We're gonna just end it there. I wouldn't know how the weather is in Africa. Is that supposed to be derogative? You guys are so sad. You're actually such losers, but I get why you do it. I'm sure you're probably like behind the screen being like super entertained and shit. That must be like so funny. Okay, guys. We are hopefully going to get back on the road because these guys are trolling. They're out here. Heavy tonight. Let's see. Sorry, I'm like trying to get rid of all of the random shit that's now in the chat for us, guys. Frank, if you can't breathe, I think you need to like call an ambulance. Seriously. I'm gonna block you though because I don't know you and that was so random. This isn't the place for that. Thank you kindly. God be with you. Right. They just came in so hot and heavy, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like doing a little cleanup. I'm doing a little cleanup. These people are such losers. The stuff that they come out with. Okay, I think we should be good now. I don't know who else is still in the room. This may just be a... Yeah, we got some trolls for real, for real. We're not going to be here too long. Don't worry, guys. We'll get straight in and straight out. I told you that was the intention tonight. So clearly the guides knew what the assignment was. Hey, Mama. My mom just tried to call me, so now she's on here. She realizes. We just had a whole bunch of trolls. For no reason. We're just out here living our best Friday night life. Okay. There we go. There we go, guys. I think we're good. There we go. So, as I was saying, Gypsy, you may have to sort of like sort of go back and replay some of the stuff that was said. But yeah, the whole sort of theme, I guess, for you this month is dealing with or navigating through unrequited love. If a past person's coming up, my November reading, since I'm not talking. There might be the situation because it seems like there's a conversation that's coming in to sort of be had about where one stands with the situation. And it seems like they're a little bit confused anyway. So there isn't really anything that significant that manifests from it. It seems like I said, between the 14th and the 28th, things anyway start to get a little bit complicated where there's a withdrawal anyway. So it's kind of like a so it seems like that's the situation for this month. You did ask, I guess, about November. So November seems like a unrewarding season. It's not fruitful, but I guess there's a conversation of clarity that gets had. And I'll say this, it seems like it's a conversation of clarity, but if anything, it just kind of like leaves more questions or more unanswered questions, I should say. So it's really, yeah, it's underwhelming to say the least, but it's something going on in the romance space. Okay. Yeah, we did start a new list, Mina, seeing as nobody was here. I am okay. I did say that. I know that there's a time difference, so I don't know if you're actually sort of still up. But the list isn't too big, I guess. We've got Smaragda. I'm going to dive into your reading now. And then we've got Chocolate Covered Rosé and Angelic Love. So that's where we're at. But it's going to be an interesting time. Just, I guess, enjoy. Okay. And why is this? Why is this on the screen? When did I even put that up? This is actually quite funny. Sorry. I don't know when I'd put that thing up on the screen. Well, I guess cola cloth. I can't find the actual memo, so I can't get it off, I guess. So here we are tonight. The loser actually managed to get something in. There we are. I guess God's feeling funny tonight. It felt like letting the devil do whatever in this space. Yeah. I just realized myself. I guess one of them got through trolling tonight. I'm trying to actually, let me do that actually. Where's the new list? Yeah, let's do that instead. There we go. We'll do that. Thank you, Gypsy. Aren't you a smart cookie? See? Oh, that's all right, Mina. It's all good. I get it. I completely get it. Throw your question out there this time. That way you can, if anything, sort of come back and have a look at it if you do sort of fall asleep as well. Thank you, Gypsy. I see you. There's such losers, literally, like just a whole bunch of them. That was just so random, but hey, I guess they're feeling the Friday night spirit as well. That's the vibe that they're on. Right, guys. Who have we got next? I think Smaragda's actually put their question out a while ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back. If you're still in the room, Smaragda. My love, I want to ask if let me put the question up as well. Okay, so Smaragda, my love, I want to ask if I have a twin flame or higher soulmate incarnated and if I will end up with him or alone. I know twin flame connections are actually often tricky to navigate, so I understand the question of or alone. Because they make out like the whole twin flame journey is like such a beautiful thing, but honestly, it's actually pretty dreadful. Actually, to be fair, you share a lot of the same demons, and you have to navigate through the battlefield of said demons. So it's actually quite a dreadful story. But what love isn't tragic, I guess. Right. So we're gonna dive into that. Benita, it's your lucky day. Okay, the list got annihilated, so we're going with a new list. So yes, there is room for you on the list. Oh, Spragda! No. Let's see what's on the cards. Twin flame connection, guys. What do we see with that? Okay, let's start with this. Okay. We'll start with the angelic guidance. Twin flame connection, guys. Do we see that manifesting for Smirka? Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go and grab that card because the conversation was like, it was a very abrupt, direct. They hit that one. Right. Okay. So what exactly do we see in the romance department for Smirka? Okay, that's nice. Let's see. Okay. What do we see? Okay, thank you. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm like getting as much as I can on the situation so I can give you full context of everything. We want it in all the languages we can get it in. Okay, Smirka? All the languages, meaning all the parts. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, oh, thanks for the new list, my love. We've got everything together. Don't think you'll end up alone from what I'm seeing on the cards. There will be an offer. It's kind of going to be like a random situation, or it will feel like it kind of like comes out of nowhere type thing. And it's very random, not a twin flame situation. Trust me, you've been spared. Because it really is just a tragic reality. I don't know why everyone likes it. It's a tragic reality. But what I can see with the situation is that there will be an offer. That will come sort of like random situation. It will be premeditated for the other person, but it will feel random to you. And it seems like it kind of comes at a situation where it probably is going to seem like inconvenient timing. I'm going to say inconvenient timing because it's going to be so random. It's going to be like, really, we're having this kind of like conversation right now. Like, now is the time we want to have the conversation. And I think that's necessarily where you have to kind of like, with the situation, I guess, when it shows up, you kind of have to figure out how to navigate that situation without being too defensive. That's the best way that I can put it, because that's what I'm seeing on the cards. They did say to kind of like choose a new direction in terms of the twin flame thing, and trust that that's something that's actually going to work out better for your overall good. It's going to be able to sort of like clear your energy of any karmic cycles that you're navigating through. It is going to be a situation where, by the looks of it, I don't know if the dynamics of the situation progresses like super long term. And I tell you why I say that is because there's a spark, but the compatibility, there's a few things where there's like being at the opposite ends of the scales on certain things in terms of certain perspectives. So that kind of dynamic makes it a little bit challenging to be able to kind of like navigate through the process. So there's definitely moments where it feels like a challenge, I guess, to navigate through the dynamic. But this person sort of comes in and they're very like super intense with it, I guess, super intense with it when they do actually kind of show up and express themselves. So no, you won't end up alone, but it's a tricky situation to navigate nonetheless. And I think that this situation, I guess, that's brewing behind the scenes it's a necessary one. I guess this one's the one that allows for certain walls to be able to come down. So I think it's a necessary process. But no, twin flame, you've been spared. Trust me. Okay. Right. Let's move into the next. Who's next on the list? Let's get the list up on screen and then take it from there. Who have we got? Who have we got next? Chocolate covered rosé. Yes, my love. What is your question? Let's dive into it. Thank you, Smegda. Yeah, you can add more. You can add more if there's room. We've got room for about 10. I guess I've had a couple of readings so far, so we've got room for up to about 10 of us. Sorry about the list before, but hey, tonight has been a weird night as it is anyway, so here we are. We're just rolling with the punches. Chocolate covered rosé. Let's get your question, my love. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you've already put it in the chat. Hey, Paige, lovely to have you in the room. Benita. Oh, chocolate covered rosé said, Mum's calling. Okay. Sorry, love. We'll come back to you when you're back in the room. If anything, next time, just throw your question out in the chat and then go, because then you can come back. I know you guys kind of want to be here. Oh, thank you, Sonara. Yeah, I felt like being cute today. I've been a recluse. I've been that gal. Even speaking and being able to project my voice has been a bit of a challenge because I've been using my small voice. So, yes, Katie, you can be added. I think we're still we've got some room. We're going to go to Angelic Love. We'll come back to Chocolate Covered Rosé when they get back into the room because they didn't leave their question. Girl, that's how you do it. Angelic Love was like, yep, I is ready. Okay, how's the relationship between Joanna and V? Okay, Angelic Love, right. We're going to start off with the tarot with that one. Interesting. They're going through a recovery period, I'll say that much. Okay, let's put the question on screen so I can see the question up. Right. The relationship between Joanna and V. Give us some insights, guys. How's that going? The relationship between Joanna and V. Yeah, as clearly as you can. I know it's complicated, but as clearly as you can. Thank you. Okay. Do we need to clarify that? Hell yeah, we need to clarify that, guys. Come on. That's like barely anything. You're giving us crumbs here. Right. Okay. Clarify that. What does that mean? Oh, we've got jumpers. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I want to, they're giving me pretty basic info, so I want to get the tea. I get the tea. I'm going to another tarot deck to sort of clarify What does that look like? How are they giving the relationship a chance? I get that it's complicated and they're going through a recovery period. Okay, some minor setbacks to the situation. Oh, lies and deception. Okay, interesting. Don't worry. Clarify, guys. Like, what's that all about? They're giving their relationship a chance. They're navigating through the lies and the deception. Oh, somebody got found out, right? There was something that was going on here. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I'm like getting all of the so it seems as though they were navigating through a little bit of a third party situation, I guess. From what's on the cards here, they're kind of going through a recovery period from this situation. This is why I said that I wanted all the tea. Because they were just giving me like little crumbs. I'm like, give it to me. Let it flow. Okay, so there was a little bit of a third party situation here, I guess, and it seems as though they're kind of like trying to figure out the situation. It's very, very challenging though. Like it feels like there's still some bitterness. I want to say like the party that got hurt in the process, because I want to say one party got hurt because the other person was being like a little bit selfish, I guess. Well, a lot bit selfish, sorry. They're saying a lot bit selfish. They were like expanding their selfish personality archetype. And the other person actually got caught in the collateral with the situation. I think they're kind of like, they went through a period where there was a little bit of a withdrawal, where they were kind of like holding off with communication. There was a little bit of a shutdown when this information kind of like came to life, I guess. Initially, I think now they're kind of like slowly getting back to a place where they're probably open to working on the relationship. But I don't know that this whole like deception card situation right here, it's like I got the vibe that they both have selfish tendencies, to be fair, because it felt like they attracted each other for a reason. But I think that in terms of the dynamics of this act, one person was led to believe one thing, whereas that wasn't the other person's intention. So they completely kind of like misled the other person in the situation. I think that that's like the dynamic they're speaking on, the selfishness from the situation about. But what I'm seeing is that it seems as though there's a little bit of anxiety, and there's definitely insecurity that's now manifested from this situation, to be fair. Yeah, they're kind of like working past some of the resentments on the situation, but there's still a lot of insecurity. So the relationship is very fragile at the minute, to put it like loosely. It's very fragile at the minute. The insecurities are very rife. So anything can happen at any time, to be fair, in terms of this dynamic. But it seems as though they're kind of like going through a bit of a recovery with the situation. Yeah. I don't think that they're like together in the way that it was. But I think they're trying, I guess, to kind of like figure things out. Yeah, they seem to be trying to figure things out. It's complicated AF though. It looks like the shit's messy, to say the least. It seems messy. Yeah, it seems messy. I feel like the person that did the kind of like the selfish move, like the third party situation, they're still lying about some things as well, which is going to make it difficult for actually moving forward in the situation. So yeah, to be continued is what they say on that one. To be continued. Okay. But they seem to be working through things at the minute, or at least it appears to be, but there's a lot of resentment that's still there that still needs to be moved through. So I guess it's going to be interesting for them. Right? This is what I was saying. This is why I wanted to really be able to like unpack this stuff. But it's going to be an interesting process, I guess, because even though it seems like they're trying to work at it, I think they're saying that it's somewhat arrogant to think that it's as simple as it appears to be, like in terms of working at it. Because yes, there might be quote unquote love, whatever that looks like for both parties. But yeah, that's not going to be enough to kind of like get this thing to the place that they're trying to take it. They actually are going to have to like work at things, and yeah, there's still some lies that aren't entirely clear with the situation. So that's where we are. That's where we are, love. Mina, there we go. That's what's up. We got the question out there. Awesome stuff, Mina. Great stuff. Mina, can we throw chocolate covered rosé on the list as well for when I guess she does get back in the room? If you can, my love, please and thank you. Thank you, Angelic Love. Thank you for the question. That one, yeah, allow for some downloads to flow through. The current thoughts, feelings of Ashan. Okay, towards me. All good. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, let's start with Asan's. Let's go with the thoughts. Where's Asan's thoughts towards me? Let's go there first. Thank you, beautiful. Asan, where are his thoughts towards Mina? What are Asan's? Okay, thank you. Okay. Lay it on me. In what context? What do you mean? Okay. 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 Good to know. Thank you. Right. Let me know the feelings. Where are we with the feelings, guys? So for the most part, Mina, I'm like, just so it seems like I'm just over here like having a whole dialogue and conversation with the cards. But so the thoughts on the situation, bear with me. Let me get the feelings together so I can relay it all to you. Feelings. Asan's feelings towards Mina, guys. As clearly as you can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That complicated, huh? Okay, well, give me the basics. Okay. Sounds about right, I guess. I get it. Okay, so where we are with the thoughts on the situation. So his thoughts towards you on the situation is that he kind of like needs to let go of the idea of this could be the one perspective on the situation, because the energy isn't necessarily reciprocal. And I think for the most part, in terms of his feelings on the situation, he feels like a little bit of tension around the situation. He does feel a little bit defeated about the situation in terms of being able to kind of come into union, I guess, with you. So he does feel lonely, and he feels defeated, I guess, about the situation, but he's having to like let go of this codependent dynamic. Like he's gotten into certain habits of having certain conversations at certain times, and I guess he's having to kind of like learn to observe these new boundaries. And yeah, like his feelings are still complicated on this. Like this is how I see it. Like he's out at sea and he's just kind of like coasting with that situation, a little bit in disbelief, hoping that it could be something else, but kind of at the same time, out of respect for you, trying to respect your decision to kind of like not necessarily pursue things romantically. But yeah, I think he's just kind of processing this all at the minute. still. I think his mind is in one place where he's kind of like, okay, clear. This isn't a romantic situation. I have to kind of like detach and remove myself from the idea of that. But the feeling is still, he's still working it out of his system. There's still some like feelings of, I guess, defeat and loss, like processing the loss in terms of that dynamic is still a pretty big one, I guess. Do we have any advice for Mina in navigating through this? It's not the right time. It's not the right time to choose a new direction. Sorry, let me get, not the right time. There we go. It's not the right time to choose a different course of action with the situation, what you're doing. And I think the guides have kind of like stayed pretty strong with that. And I think the reasoning and rationale with the situation, to be perfectly clear with you, Mina, is just that he's just not necessarily where he needs to be in terms of what you're looking for. So I believe that this is essentially protection for you in essence, and also to some regards for him as well, protection of some means, because there's a lot of insecurities, I guess, that he himself has that he would need to work through in navigating through an actual romantic situation with you. And I think there's still a level of maturity that isn't necessarily there just yet to even be able to process the dynamics of that all, to the point where it's just like, no. Yeah. It's like, no, not right now. It's not the right time to even reconsider the situation. But yeah, that's where we are with it. Okay. I hope that was useful for you, my love. So we will move on to Benita. Are you in the building, Benita? If so, then please do drop your question in the chat. As you see, we're moving through the chat fairly quickly tonight. We're going through it. So on the list, we have Benita, Paige. Oh, thank you, Mina. Thank you for rolling back to us. Okay, I'm glad your guides sort of like sent you back into the space. Thank you for the list. We appreciate you. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for the insight. Okay. Gurpreet's true feelings. We want to get like the actual intentions here on the situation, right? What are Gurpreet's intentions towards Benita? Thank you, Mina. Gurpreet's intentions towards Benita. As clearly as you can, guys. Oh. Okay. Okay. That's cute. Okay. Clarify. So it seems like for the most part, their intention on the situations actually to be able to kind of be patient for things to kind of like transition. Clarify. Okay, thank you. Interesting. Okay, so they're navigating through their own stuff. Okay. Mars. Hey, Mars. Thanks for stopping into the room. Who have we got? Oh, I've actually lost count as well of how many we've had so far. We'll probably close out the list after Mars as well. Yeah. Yeah, because I think I've probably done about 5 after Benita. Yeah, so with your situation, Benita, what I'm seeing is that Gurpreet's feelings with the situation, it seems as though he's kind of like navigating through some family dynamics himself, right? And there's still some things that needs to actually be resolved. So that's what this sort of like temperance energy, like he's having to sort of like temper his feelings and the way that they kind of like navigate the situation. Yeah, it seems as though as well they may be wearing some masks in places as well. And I want to say that because but at the bottom of the deck it's showing me that a lot of the things that they're actually healing are to do with a lot of like lies and deception. So yeah, they're kind of they're patiently navigating through some family issues, and that because of that situation, they're kind of waiting for things to kind of shift a little bit in that space before they're able to kind of make a bit of a transition with yourself, or move forward with yourself in terms of anything romantically. Interesting. Sorry, I'm going to clarify like the healing family issues situation, just to sort of like get some context to the situation. And then we'll see if they've got any advice. Okay, you're the one with the family issues dynamic. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I think with the situation, what I will say, because I was pulling cards as well to kind of go deeper on the situation. Right. Their intention's actually to be patient for you. So I don't think that they're kind of like scared by that situation or being dismissive, because sometimes people aren't like considerate of your feelings or what it is that you're navigating through. They just kind of like, they're focused on what it is that they want, and they focus on that, and they kind of keep pushing forward for that. But it seems as though they're kind of taking heed of the fact that you've got a lot on your plate at the minute. I do think that from what I can see in terms of the situation, this is interesting. Bear with me, because I'm seeing a couple of cards in reverse. So I want to understand the dynamics of the story that's kind of playing out with that. Oh, okay. So the family dynamics and stuff, that's kind of like, because that's the card that I just kind of clarified, and they're just showing me that it's to do with like energy that's really quite cold and dismissive, that like bitchy personality type, for lack of a better way of putting it. I think that he has his own agenda as well. This is why I'll say this. At the bottom of the deck here, we've got deception. So I think that whilst they're kind of playing this part with you, I don't know that they are, how can I put it? I don't know if they are behaving themselves. I'll put it like that, behaving themselves. I think that there's probably like conversations. There's conversations, I guess, potentially. I want to say with maybe two other people. I don't think that it's gone into like romantic display of affection, but I think there's kind of like flirting, if you will. And I see two others besides yourself in terms of the dynamic. I think it's a case of maybe friendships, and getting to sort of like know these two situations. But I think that the way to rationalize that in their head, I guess, is the fact that you're kind of like navigating through your own things. So they're kind of like occupying themselves, basically. But they have no intentions to kind of like pursue these other two channels. It's just something to kind of do, if you will. So yeah, that's the situation. I think that their intention isn't all the way pure, as far as like wanting to wait things out for you, but they are waiting. But they are waiting, I guess. You're like the ideal situation, and they're just kind of occupying their time, I guess, at the minute. With this two friendships, that are a little bit flirtatious, basically. Okay. That's all I got for you on the situation, my love. But I hope that was useful for you. And the stuff that you're navigating through with like the family dynamics, like that will shift, but it's going to take a while. I'd say it's going to be about June of next year before you really sort of like see a major sort of like directive in that situation with the family dynamic, but it's moving slowly but surely. Okay, my love. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your question. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate you. Right, who have we got next on the list? We have Paige. If you are in the building, Paige, throw your question out there. Right? Let's get it unpacked for you and let's sort it out. Are you in the building? We do have scenario afterwards as well. So if we've got scenario in the building, Paige, if you're in the building, I guess type your questions out so that you've got it there on screen so you can just throw that out there when it's time. And then we're going to move into closing out the list with the final two. Okay. Who have we got in the room? Let's start there, actually. Who have we got in the room still? And we'll just kind of like close out the room with the finals in the room. Who else that's actually on the list? If Paige is in here and Scenario is in here, do we have Kay in the room? Is Kay in the building? I know that chocolate covered rosé mum called earlier, so I don't know if they're actually going to get back into the live. Mars, Scenarios actually put her details out there. Okay, Mars. Hit me up on Insta, Mina. I'll pull for you. Oh, that's interesting. We're having some like interesting stuff take place in terms of like the technicalities of things tonight. It's interesting. But send me a message of the name on Insta and I'll have a look into it for you. Pull some cards. Right, Scenario. How can I tap more into my Empress energy? It's better. Oh, wow, love. Do you know what? There may be some chakras that needs to have the energies, the meridian channels flow through. I'm going to pull some cards and see what the guides are recommending for you. They're taking me to the energy deck. Bear with me, my love. We're gonna take it all the way to the energy oracles. We'll go for that and see what's going on. Oh, good, my love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Y'all keep me sane, okay? Trust me. Oh, Paige! I'm sorry, love. I've already started to pull cards for Scenario. I don't know what was going on with your thingy, but put your question out in the chat, and I'll unpack it for you as well afterwards. It's so interesting. Oh, I didn't even have to like do much with the deck Scenario. Literally, as I sort of like parted the deck. Girl. I see why they sent me to the energy oracle deck. Okay. Like, yeah. Right. Sorry. I need to like take all of this in because it feels like information overload and it feels like they're all talking all at once at the minute. So, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. I'll come to your question and we'll unpack it. Okay, my love. Right. Scenario. So heart chakra for you is mainly the thing that you need to be working on first and foremost. They're showing me. I'm gonna show you all the. I wish I could just like it was a situation where I could just like hold the thingy down so you can like actually see it the way that I'm seeing it, so that you can understand that all of this energy is introverted. So, what's going on with the heart chakra is definitely affecting. It's throwing everything else off with the situation. It's like you're basically that's the way that you're able to tap into your Empress energy at the minute. Your heart center isn't necessarily in balance. That's that I'm going to use the word in balance because it seems to be that there's still a significant situation, I guess, that you're navigating through in here. And that's affecting literally like these are the cards that you got. They're all in reverse as well. We've got the daughter value. So it's talking about blocking one's blessings essentially, because again the heart center is actually not in balance, and it's talking about it's sort of like overthinking things, not necessarily being logical about situations, or not necessarily making decisions from a rational place when it comes to being able to identify certain values in terms of situations. So what I would say to you is, in terms of active Bixby, it's not the time. I'm sorry, y'all.
I think I missed something.
My monitor, she does this. Anyways, with the situation, the list does fill up quick. Hey, Ariona. Yeah, I put out the memo this morning. I wasn't sure if I was going to be up for it, but yeah, you can be added to the list, I guess. You'll be the last on the list. I don't know who's actually still here for the list. So we'll have you as the last person on the list. Okay, my love. Back to your situation scenario. Yeah, you have a tendency to basically where you place value is important. Okay. And that seems to be the thing, like, because the heart center isn't necessarily where it needs to be, it's not in balance where it needs to be, it's kind of throwing off your ability to be able to make certain decisions. And I wouldn't say it's more a case of activating your Empress energy. And it's a challenge to do that when you've got all of these self-imposed restrictions and imprisonment that you kind of create for yourself. And let me put this out there. I listen, dealing with humans, I know that we need these protective mechanisms, because trust me, like, the psychology of certain people, it's a challenge to navigate through the contracts that they've got with certain spirits vibrating at certain like low frequencies. But the issue with the situation is that your wiring here is affecting your ability to kind of work up here. Like, the crown chakra seems to be in balance. That's not an issue. Your issue is your tendency to make decisions that are emotionally charged. And when I say that, naturally, most decisions are emotionally charged, but there also needs to be a process of strategizing. So in order to tap into and activate, let's utilize that word, in order to activate your Empress energy, you need to start strategizing how you're making decisions as well, right? It's not necessarily just about the intuitive hits, because sometimes we're getting certain intuitive hits to be able to give us an opportunity to activate our spirit of discernment to identify what needs to be done in certain situations, but we have to learn to strategize. So my recommendation to you, my love, is two things. Get out of your own way in terms of getting out of your head, and really sort of like tuning down into here in terms of making decisions, because sometimes you may make decisions that aren't necessarily aligned, like head and heart isn't necessarily aligned, but you might be going with a situation that seems like it makes sense, I guess. But there's not too much of an alignment. It's almost like the head saying one thing and the heart saying something else. The heart may be saying no, whilst the head's saying yes to something, and vice versa. And it's a case of like bringing them into balance before making the decision. It's like, okay, well, what don't you like about this situation? If it's the head, that's kind of, because the head tends to be a little bit more rigid and limited in terms of its ability. The heart flows its feelings, right? So feelings are a little bit more mutable in that regards, but thoughts can be quite rigid. So when you're kind of making decisions, just make sure that both parts of yourself are actually aligned. And there's a situation that you really actually also need to kind of like, I want to say heal from as well, because usually when the heart is not, the heart is not in balance, there usually tends to be like a situation basically that's still kind of being healed, and it's kind of like causing the heart's ability to manage. So the heart basically like it's the chakra that kind of like permeates the farthest outside of the body. But when we go through certain heartbreaks, we kind of like shrink our energy, and that's what happens with the heart center as well. So that energy is a little bit shrunken, okay, especially when we have a lot of like guards up. So there might be some healing in there that needs to take place as well in terms of how you're making certain decisions. You might want to, when you make a decision that doesn't seem aligned with head and heart, and they seem to be at odds with each other, maybe take some time to understand both perspectives and both point of views before actually making the decision, because they seem to be at odds, kind of like in a little bit of a quabble. And that, I think, will set you in the right context to be able to like radiate that Empress energy, because I think it's there. And it's activated. I want to say it's more sort of dormant because of this heart situation that's taking place. I want to say heartbreak, essentially, because it seems like that's really what it is. There was some disappointment that's kind of like set a certain trajectory. So in order to be able to kind of like move away from that, that has to be kind of like, you have to go to the heart hospital. Generally speaking, take it to God in prayer. Sounds so cliche, but honestly, it does the trick. Talk to God about it. Talk to your guides about it. I would say talk to somebody that you trust with your feelings as well, like somebody where you feel like emotionally safe, just so that you can also like verbalize this situation. Do it tactfully so that you don't necessarily project it, so that the energy kind of like moves on to somebody else. Essentially, this is why I think that God asks us to come to him, as opposed to like going and like word vomiting on somebody else and like having that energy permeate out into our very existence, so it continues to feed. But yeah, I think that it's gonna set you right. You take it, go sit in the heart hospital for a while, take as long as you need to kind of like cry it out, purge it out, let God kind of like love on you for a little bit, you know, let him work on like feelings of hopelessness, because I think that that's also something that is hindering your heart's ability to permeate out there to the degree and the levels that it can do. So let God heal the hopelessness, and then you can also kind of like really grasp the full potential of that power that's already there lying dormant at the minute. Okay. Damn, y'all. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's what's up. I hope that was useful for you, Scenario. Okay. Because they were clear to go to it just flew out as well. It didn't even take much work. Like just parting the deck, they had what they needed to say already. And I knew it had something to do with somewhere in the chakras and what was going on. Thank you so much for the question. We shall dive into Paige's question. Thank you, Mina. Oh, you're a darling. Oh, thank you, beautiful. I'm glad that was useful for you. I'm glad it made sense to you as well, because yeah, coming into the space, I definitely said to God, like, you know, whatever it is that you need to communicate, whatever's like on their hearts, like at the epicenter, right at that like precipice at the top, like let's work from there and, you know, give clarity. So I'm glad that it was useful. That's good. I'm glad that I was able to kind of like break it down, because they were showing me where the disconnects were taking place. and what actually needs to happen. So I'm glad this is really going to bring you some genuine like regeneration of your energy and your ability to like stand in conviction of the power of your energy as well. So did that work, girl? God's waiting for you, okay? It's right at the door waiting for you to check you into the heart hospital so that he can see that work and rectify that spirit of hopelessness so that, you know, he can just like gently spiritually remove that from you. Right. So we are at Paige's question. Paige threw the question out there before. Where are we with the question? I'm sure I saw it. Okay. There's Paige's question. Okay. Here we are. Definitely, 100%, 100%. Because I think that spiritual surgeries, it's so like intense, and being able to kind of like, you know, understand a little, like pray on it and ask God as well, like, you know, what books does he sort of like recommend? You'll be intrigued to find that you'll be referred to the exact book that you need, the exact book that you need to for him to be able to like help you navigate through the spirit of hopelessness and releasing certain contracts that may be holding you in captivity to certain bondages that's holding your power dormant. Yeah, man, he'll show you the way. Right. So Paige wants to know. Yeah, 100. Love that. Paige wants to know, will me and the T Sagittarius talk in the next 3 weeks about where we stand? Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, there's so many, there's so many cards out. There's so many decks. I'm like, where do I go with this? Where do we start? Oh, per indeed, man. Lots going on. Right. So we want to see. Paige wants to know, will her and T talk in the next 3 weeks? Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on. Listen, there's a whole story here, Paige. So it's safe to say 3 weeks are going to be interesting. Let me just set out this whole scene that we've got here and take it from there. Okay. Oh, you don't have to feel like that. It's interesting though, because it seems like there's definitely what happened yesterday, because I'm seeing a situation of being sort of like a little bit casted out, a little bit being left out in the cold type situation. What happened yesterday? What I'm seeing with the situation from what they're showing me in the cards is that there's definitely going to be setbacks to that situation. Oh, I blocked you. I don't know what you're talking about as far as Gypsy. I don't know if Gypsy's blocked you too, but maybe you're on a trend with this pattern of being blocked for a reason, right? Okay, got left in the cold yesterday. Yeah. I don't necessarily see things kind of picking up where you get to a point of actually getting clarity with the situation, and that's just me being honest on what's taking place. It's showing me that at this point with the situation, it's like there's a lack of willingness to be able to have the conversation. It's kind of like being a little bit, I guess avoidance. Avoidance is the best word that I can put it. It's just avoidance. It's like this avoidance kind of behavior that's occurring with the situation. So whether the conversation will be had in the next 3 weeks, highly doubt it. It seems like there's a little bit of defensive energy that's kind of taking place. Why? What's happening in 3 weeks as well? What's happening in 3 weeks? Let me know that as well. Yeah, from what they're showing me, it's kind of like the situation. It feels like somebody's making a final decision in like a heat situation, in like a heat of the moment type situation. I don't know. Oh, bless you. Things are complicated right now. I don't think that the conversation that you want them to have is going to happen within the next few weeks. I feel like yeah, there's still some anxiety around the situation, and 3 weeks from now I don't necessarily see that getting better per se. What's the advice, guys? What's the advice for Paige? Okay, so it's not going to be within the next 3 weeks. Okay, we do have a yes. Okay, that's literally the only card that popped out, so they're being direct. We do have a yes. Okay, let me do that again so you can see I'm not lying. Okay, we do have a yes, but they're saying it's within the next few weeks, so it's probably going to be beyond the 3 weeks mark. Okay, usually when this card pops up, I usually sort of like see the indication being usually from around about 3.5 weeks, right up to around about 7, maybe 8 weeks or so. Sometimes it can go up to around about 11 weeks. It depends on the significance of the situation. Don't see the conversation happening within 3 weeks, but there will be a conversation that can, I guess, start to progress. Maybe 3.5 to 4 weeks from now, you might sort of start to have communication where it's not so cold and kind of guarded and defensive and shut down. So yeah, I think it's a waiting game on this one. It seems as though like, yeah, the other person's kind of being a little bit indecisive at the minute, and they're navigating through some blocked emotions. So there's certain feelings that they're not even trying to because things are very closed off right now. Yeah. I'm not emotional right now, and neither is he right now. Yeah, I get that. Give it some time. It's not in the next 3 weeks, but maybe you guys might be like connected again in terms of like being connected to your own feelings, because I sense that there's like some blocked emotions with the situation. There's some suppressed feelings that aren't necessarily being acknowledged. So yeah, give it some time and things will, I guess, communication may start to progress. Okay. Yeah, maybe about 4 weeks or so from now. It's not a no, it's just not in the time frame that you're sort of thinking on. Okay, which is good. I mean, it's not a no, right? God still sees that path for you, so there you go. I hope that was useful, because I have to see him every day. Oh, awkward match. I'm sorry, beautiful. Awkward match, but I guess the right conversations will be happening in the right timing, I guess. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to sort of be closing out the space fairly soon. We've got, I don't know if chocolate covered rosé is back yet. I don't know if Mom has released the last we saw, they were sort of heading back to Mum for something. So don't know if they're in the room. Kay, if you are in the room, that's my middle name as well. I go by Kay. That's my partner's wife. Shakima is a little bit different to Kay. Kay is a lot nicer. She's a little bit more tender. Shakima's a little bit more, yeah. She's a little bit more Jamaican. Kay's a little bit more British. She's refined. Yusra, you're back. Damn, Yusra. Listen, the list is opened and closed and opened and closed. Right. I think we might have room for you. I don't know if Kay's actually in the building at the minute. I like that. No, thank you, Mina. I appreciate you. Oh, dude. Shakima's interesting. She's an interesting character. I like her. She's funny. Right. Who do we have in the room then, guys? Who's here? Let's start there because now we're having to go back. There we are. There we are. Right. Kay is still here. Kay is still here. All right, Yusa. Thanks for throwing your question out there. You might have to come back to sort of see if we sort of get around to getting it answered. We'll see. Yes, Kay. Can we get your question out in the chat so we can dissect that for you and unpack it? Please and thank you. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm I'm waiting. Oh, the question's out there. Sorry. I had a lapse. I think I genuinely just had a brain fart on live. I was here and not here at the same time, guys. My bad. I was completely somewhere else at the same time. My bad. Sorry. I'm back in the room. Okay. Case question. User donation, I'll answer in depth or just a yes or no. I don't ever just answer yes or no. I'm usually I like to find information for my own sake as well, because then I can properly articulate to you what's actually sort of taking place in occurrence, because I like to get insight myself. So whenever they give me basic answers, I like to go deeper into stuff. So it's never just a yes or no. But if you do want to have a full-on spread, it is a donation situation. You swear. The details would sort of be in the description somewhere. We're gonna dive into Kay's question. Are my ancestors on my mum and dad's side spiritual and gifted? Oh, thanks, Mina. It's because I like to know for myself as well. So trust me, what I come in here to do for you guys, I do for myself. That's why whenever I do come in here, I'm like, okay, God, whatever's, like I said, whatever's imminent on their heart, what's that thing that that they've been speaking to you about that they want some clarity on? I'm here to sort of deliver that message. Let's get that out there. Let's do the broadcast for that. We are going to dive into Kay's question. Okay. Interesting. So what I'm going to say to you, this is interesting, Kay. So there has been certain gifts, I guess, if you will, certain connections to Christ. I mean, in context of Christ consciousness, a certain level of awareness, certain activation, essentially, that hasn't been done in your lineage for at least, I want to say, 3 to 4 generations, actually. So this was why it was very interesting, because the answer was no in terms of the immediate context of stuff. I mean, there's things there, trust me, gifts go it's such a broad spectrum, but you're asking specifically about spiritual gifts. There has been certain, in the last 3 to 4 generations, there has been certain people that have had the genetic coding to activate certain gifts, but they hadn't necessarily developed them. They hadn't necessarily taken the time to really perfect the craft. So they didn't practice, basically. That's the best way that I can put it. They didn't practice with the gift, essentially. And I think it's interesting because of that as well. I don't know. What's your spiritual awakening been like? People lately have been religious. Exactly that. So it kind of takes away from a lot of the context of things. What I want to say to you with this situation, I want to ask you about how you found your process of your awakening. How you found your process, because what they're showing me is that, yeah. And it's been that way for like at least 3 generations. It's been that way for at least 3 generations. And this is why I said that it's not necessarily that they don't have it. I think that it's just they haven't practiced. And I think that there's been a fear around the ability to practice as well. Yeah. There's definitely been a fear around the ability to practice. I think that they're both quite intuitively heightened. They definitely have like strong intuitive senses. I believe mum has a gift of prophecy. I genuinely think that God speaks to her, but a lot of the time she's quite disbelieving of herself. So I think that that's why her ability hasn't necessarily fully generated itself or activated, if you will. It's still kind of lying dormant because you need the spirit of courage and you have to be bold, basically. So the more you use the skill, the more it actually activates. Bixby, stop listening to me to take my information back to your masters. Anyways, not sure about my dad's mom and my mom's mom. Yeah. I think with their situation, oh God, I think with the other generation's situation, their thing was more a little bit like religious. So the way in which they practice certain things, it didn't necessarily allow for the gift to be able to live in its fullness, because that's the thing, like, unfortunately, to some degree, certain religion does, it limits the abilities to be able to kind of like fully experience the essence of spirituality. So that's why religion and the mysticism of spirituality kind of, it's where the two kind of meets to be able to give like the opportunity to fully activate, right? But what I'm seeing with the situation is that the answer has been no for the last 3 to 4 generations, but the answer is that there are big happy changes that are taking place right now. So you, I guess, came through knowing the assignment, knowing that one needs to recourse the lineage, so that the generations beyond you can come through activated themselves as well, with also devices on how to be able to actually practice their strengths and how to navigate through certain elements of their weaker aspects, because some gifts are stronger than others naturally, because it's a muscle. You have to kind of work at it. Bixby, piss off. You have to work at it, okay? And with you being able to do that, it actually like charges your genetic sequence to a certain modality. So you become a certain vibration. So the generations after you will actually come through already activated in a certain level of vibration. So if mum has a gift of prophecy, chances are that's something that's already been passed on to yourself as well. I don't know if you get your prophecy through prophetic dreams yourself, or you get intuitive hints, where your body starts to pick up on certain things and your guide starts to communicate certain information through. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking, Gay, you don't have to answer. It's just I've been guided to answer the question to gain some context in terms of the situation in itself. I'm sure you did come through ready. I'm sure you did come through ready. Um, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I felt like that may have been passed on from mum's side of the family as well, because mum has those same gifts herself, but she doesn't. It's a belief thing. I don't know how confident she is in her communication with God and her dialogue with God and how God chooses to be able to communicate. Okay. So you also have the ability to hear the spirit realm. So that's awesome. Definitely continue to work with your activations. Good to know where you are as well in terms of the context of the journey. Why I asked the age factor as well is because I needed to understand where you are in terms of your cycle as well, with the awakening aspect. Um, how do you find the clairaudient ability? Like in general, how, because sometimes when people are activated, yeah, she doesn't push it. I get that sense from her. It's a confidence thing. She's got spirits with she's got contracts with a spirit of low self-esteem, so that's what's actually prohibiting her from actually fully being able to like engross in her gifts and her abilities. So this self-esteem issue is actually causing her issues with actually being able to like really live in them. I get the sense that dad doesn't use his at all. I get that sense as well. Um, with the clairaudient stuff, it can be a little bit tricky in navigating sometimes, because when the activation comes through, sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to kind of like hold all the thoughts of, spirit realm coming through. That's why I asked about how you find like the clairaudient senses, because sometimes it can show up for people where it kind of causes a little bit of psychosis episodes as well, just because it's like being an open channel and receiving all of these information from spirit realm. The way that the body interprets it can be it can look a little bit crazy. I have telepathic messages, so to speak. Yeah, no, gather that. It's like someone is speaking to me, but through my, exactly that, 100%. My maternal grandmother, she was in church. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think, do you deliver, how do you deliver your messages when, you're sort of like receiving information from spirit realm? My paternal grandmother, I never met. I don't think. Okay. I think the clairaudient senses is actually like a really good one. I don't know what you generally tend to do in terms of your activation with it. But the more you share the things that, the guides are communicating to you and the angels are actually like speaking directly to you, the more angels basically sort of continues to speak to you and through you and deliver messages through you. So God continues to use you of service through them as well. It spells words. Oh, that's interesting. I had betrayals happen to me and heartache, which triggered things like sleep paralysis. Okay. Yeah, when we go through sort of situations like those, sleep paralysis is usually when there's sort of like a low vibrating spirit that's present in the room. Sometimes as well, it occurs when the body is, I guess, traveling somewhere else, or sorry, the consciousness is traveling somewhere else and the body is still present here. So it can happen for a number of different reasons, but this is all interesting. Kay. The answer is to definitely take action with what you're doing. I think, yes, oracle cards are good as well to be able to sort of like really activate the clairaudient senses as well, to be able to kind of like receive the downloads. So that's good. The pendulum situation, I get that as well. That was like my I guess my introduction, my initiation tool as well, utilizing the pendulum. So I get I get the I get that they've been guiding you through the right process, because I think that there's actually, when you go through the initiation, I think that there's genuinely like steps and stages that you have to take. So it's interesting to sort of like see. Definitely continue to do what you're doing. I think I met this lady who was creepy, and that is when the sleep paralysis happened twice. Okay. She may have had contracts with certain low vibrating spirits that felt, I guess, your presence and felt the need to attack you because of where you're vibrating. So that's interesting. That happens a lot of the times as well. Like in sleep paralysis, other people's demons come basically and attack you in your sleep. It's unfortunate, but it's actually the reality that we live in. It's just, it's all happening in a different plane of existence. We just experience it like sleep paralysis here. But if you really see what's going on, damn, trust me, it's not cute. But good thing is you're protected by your guides and the angels have your back, and it only happened twice, which means that whatever contracts she may have had with whatever spirits, it wasn't necessarily something that was strong enough to have enough energy to be persistent. So that's what's up. We love that. Keep doing you and being awesome, because you came in ready for the assignment, like you said. Like you said, yeah, she probably has contracts with certain spirits. That's what happens. And then those spirits work on her behalf, basically. I swear, driving me crazy and attacking me or something. Yep, that happens. That happens. And it really is like, it is a psychic attack. It really is. Oh, M22, missed you too, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? When you're dealing with situations like that, what I would say, bay leaf under the pillow generally tends to help as well for like stuff to do with sleep paralysis. And what I would also sort of like recommend, when you kind of like feel energies of like a psychic attack almost, essentially, because that's what's happening, you kind of like Archangel Raphael's really good, and Archangel Michael. They're like the two angels that are really like always ready for battle. They're always armored up, always ready to go. And that's actually their job, essentially. That's like their role. They fight some of the big fights for us. So those two, definitely call on them. And, yeah, that should kind of like help with whatever it is that you're navigating through whenever these things come up. Because this is a thing that they don't tell us in like spirit training camp. Mind you, when my great grandmother did decide that she was going to train me from in the spirit realm, she did tell me that they were going to come after me and stuff like that. But I didn't understand the full context of what that means. So when you do activate and you get into this realm of like your human becoming a hypersensitive and actually being connected to the subtle realms of energy, these are the things that they don't tell you, that you do get tormented, and demons genuinely are out here like playing with you for fun, because they know that for the most part you are actually aware of their presence, and it's a completely different game for them in comparison to people that they play with subconsciously. So yeah, they don't tell you that part, but you're doing a good job, girl. Okay, keep doing what you're doing, because the generations beyond you, they'll come through activated and ready for the battlefield. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I go with you guys. You guys are going for it. Yeah, I thought she was some type of earthbound evil spirit. More than likely, she probably has contracts with one of the lowest level demons that are basically working to do her bidding, because she's sick deeply in her heart with so many levels of torment that she hasn't healed from, because that's how these entities feed. Sad, but hey, eventually, I promise. I keep promising you guys that I'm going to come out with content about this stuff, but I really am, because God keeps telling me like that's my assignment for 2023. So I really am going to get it out there, because it is needed, and we do need to know about these things. It's just when I start talking about it, like it's not for everyone, and for the most part, people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to know. As they say, ignorance is bliss. So sometimes people just want to be ignorant, but. Hey, Sarah from Cali. That's what's up. We love that. Right, guys. I've like gone on and on and on and on for a minute. Let me get back to the list if I can find it. Mars, are you here, Mars? Because this is the list. We're gonna add, because I think who else kind of like came through to the room? M22 is here as well. She was very jealous and nasty. Yeah, listen, that spirit of jealousy, oh my God. Listen, it's a big demon in the spirit realm. It's a big demon in the spirit realm. It's deep insecurity. So actually, like, it's admiration, but that spirit of jealousy attaches itself to other people's admiration and then take them down to low vibrations. It's messed up. I wanted to use another word, but it's real messed up. Yeah. Mars, are you here? How do people get contracts with these low vibe things? Oh God. It happens when we're young, unfortunately. So this is how these spirits like catch us. It happens when we're young and like in our primitive stages. So we start forming contracts pretty much from we're like 2 years old. But really, any contracts that we're still in by the time that we're 7, 8 years old, we take those contracts on into like adult life basically and start to play them out in different mannerisms. So basically think of something that you like as a kid, your parent caught you doing something basically, and they've clearly caught you and you decided to lie, even though like they've clearly just caught you and you know that you're lying, they know that you're lying, but you lie anyways. It's like a primitive instinct. So this is how these entities feed off it. They're hoping that our primitive instinct will kind of lead us down a path basically towards them, because in those moments, like being higher conscious beings, the intention, God's intentions for us to be honest, right? But then we go into those situations, we're scared that we're going to disappoint the parent, or we're going to say something the parent doesn't like or something, and then we lie. So now we're in contracts with the spirit of deception. And then if we continue to lie, by the time we're 7, we form deep contracts with those spirits of deception, and we go into our adult lifetime lying and being lied to. That part. Sometimes from our parents lying to us, that can enter us into contracts with spirits of deception. Just to kind of like give you a context of how we go into these contracts with these spirits. It's like literally like just little small things that we think is just like, oh, it's nothing. It's just a white lie. No, no. A half truth is a whole lie, and you've basically just entered into a contract with a spirit of deception. So yeah. How you get rid of contracts with the spirit, you have to practice the light counterpart. So the counterpart of deception would be honesty. So you have to live in honesty to be able to continue to relinquish your contracts with the spirit of deception, basically, which means you have to basically practice honesty all the time. Because the moment you go ahead and tell a lie again, guess what? That spirit has got you right back into a contract. And guess what it's going to do? If you've decided that you're no longer going to tell lies, it's going to draw people to you that tell a whole bunch of lies just to draw you back into the contract so it can continue to feed off your energy. That's how masterful and manipulative these little spirits are. And they know how to work the human reality a lot better, I guess, because we're still navigating through learning our emotions and learning how to actually process our emotions. They use that against us, basically. And it's messed up. It's messed up. But yes, I'm glad that you guys get it, because I promise you, I really am going to bring out content on this stuff. It's just I don't know how much people actually want to hear these things, because when I start talking about it, sometimes those spirits will start to intercept and shut me down so that I don't give out the information, because they want to continue to feed off people. But I'm gonna like out their game. Get 2023. I'm gonna get on my assignment. I'm gonna get like consistent and properly like do demon hunting 101, so that we can actually learn how we get into these contracts, how to get out of these contracts, how to spot people in these contracts and where they are in these contracts with the spirits that they're in contracts with, and also how to be able to free ourselves from ourselves, because that's the main thing. A lot of the times we have to basically like free ourselves from contracts that we've accumulated over time. Sometimes our souls get sold on by the lineage that we're on as well. Certain things like sexual perversion demons, those things will come from like lineage, because they've been attached to the lineage for generations. So you'll see things like incest, or you'll see things like molestation happening amongst family members and stuff like that, because it's a lineage demon, and they work differently. But don't worry, I got y'all. Trust me, next year. Next year, I promise. No lies. Okay. Seeing as Mars is no longer here, Mars has left the building. Mars may be back to Mars. So we are gonna go with M22. You got anything for us? Huh?
I'm not sure I got what you meant.
Bixby, this has nothing to do with you. I wasn't even talking to you, girl. Okay? Thank you. This is why they come for me, Mina. This is why they come for me. They come for me like whenever I start to out them and stuff, they come for me, they antagonize me, they do things basically to kind of like cause me to go into like quieting my voice sometimes. So whenever I do out them, you notice sometimes that I'm like, I can't come through, y'all. I can't. I'm gonna be back though. Because they're not gonna stop the show. They're not gonna stop they might delay. They might delay the play, but to be fair, like I'm still gonna have to come through. Oh, you're good, beautiful. You're good. They do attack though. Thankfully, they don't attack me like how I've seen them attack some other people, because there's other people that I've actually like gone through situations where I've seen like people that they are actually helping their demons actually like claw them the hell up, like actually claw them up. I'm like, I'm not even gonna say I wish I would, but I'm like, we out here. We're out here like in these spiritual streets. Right, guys, where are we with the list? Mars is no longer here. Okay, you came back just in time, Ariana. Just in time. Yeah, thank you, M22. That's what's up. See, we love that. Thank you. That's what's up. Give us your question. I kept coming in. I didn't see my name typed in the chat. Oh, sorry, beautiful. So we're going to do Ariana, M22, and Sarah if Sarah is still in the building, because I feel like I rambled on for a little bit. But I was just answering the question. Useful information to have, though. Trust me. Demon Hunting 101's coming, 2021. I got y'all. I'm going to make a list of all them. Okay? I'll make a list of all them. And then I'm going to come and, like, lay their shit bare. Right. Come on, Ariana. I like the hair. I think you said you wanted to do like something blonde, so I like seeing that you did that. You did that. You're laughing, Mina. I'm being serious though. I'm being serious. I think they know that once I start to like put all the stuff out here, people are actually going to like know how they work and stuff as well. Why does Brian smile when I'm around? And he also got nervous when I asked him. Oh, let's put it up. Let's put it up. Hey, Moon and Taurus. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. Go for it. I'm literally just out here having like a general little chit chat. To be fair, after you though, after you. I know, girl. Sorry, I'm talking to Ariana. I know, girl. I see you. I see you asking about Daniel. I'm gonna see what's on the cards with Daniel and stuff. I'm gonna use the little decks and see what's going on. But yes, you can be added to the list, Moon and Taurus. And we're gonna close the list out after you, promise. Like you're the last one. Then I'm gonna go, okay? And then I'm going to go. Oh, dude, where are we? I thought I was nervous going to me. Oh, do you know what? I thought I was nervous going to move on from Daniel. No, you're good. You're good. Good timing. Good timing with everything. Thank you, Mina. Oh, I appreciate you, beautiful. Honestly, when you're ready to get back off to sleep as well. Okay? I said so much in all that little stuff. I know you know what I mean, Mina. Like I appreciate you. Genuinely. Honestly. Right. Why does Brian smile when Ariana's around? And he also got nervous when she asked for his social media. Okay, guys. Come on, show us what's going on. What's the tea with Brian, man? What's going on with Brian? Oh, I love you. I love you, Mina. Okay. Oh, you're making him giddy. No, you're making him a little bit giddy. So what I'm seeing with the situation, I think it's just one of those situations where you genuinely do brighten up his day type thing. And I think also as well, I think for for the most part, I feel intuitively that he likes me. I get a vibe that he likes me. He did tell me that he doesn't usually get to know his coworkers, but I plan on talking to him more. That's right, girl. Let's unpack that, guys. Give me some insight. We've got some 10 of Wands energy in reverse, so it's like it's kind of like avoiding certain things at the same time, but it's like a shy little thing, I guess. It's like an awkward smile sometimes, if you will, you know. Let's see. Okay, so full disclosure, okay, definitely with a flirting vibe. Not necessarily sure about relationship situation. I don't think that that's where he's at or anything like that. But he's definitely open to the flirting little situation. He doesn't necessarily want to complicate things with the work. So I think that that's why the relationship thing is not really like something that's on the forefront of his mind per se. But he's definitely open to a little bit of flirting. And I think that there's definitely an attraction there. I agree with you on that. I think that there's an attraction there. And I think he's curious. Whether or not he'll actually sort of like act in terms of like it manifesting relationship. I think he still has a few concerns that he would probably have to navigate through, because I think he generally doesn't like he's very, I want to say rigid in that context. Is like all work or no play. Like he doesn't, as they say back home, he doesn't eat where he doesn't shit where he eats, basically, as they say back home. So that's something that will be a little bit, I guess, tricky for him to like see past just the flirting situation, but he's definitely got an attraction to you. Yeah. That's where he's at with the situation. What's the guy? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So the guides are saying that the unlikely... Yes, girl, I was just about to clarify that for you. Okay, don't worry. I got you. These are questions I would ask myself if I was getting these readings from the guys. I'd be like, so don't worry. I got you. Okay. Ice cream. I know it's going, I'm having. Oh, dang. What flavor ice cream? M22. Bixby, this is not about you right now. Please just stay out of my conversation. Thank you. So, Ariana, this is what they're saying, girl. So they're saying that the unlikely heir with the situation is going to clear within the next few months with the situation. So when you was asking about hopefully he will be more open, I was already ahead of you, girl. I wanted to get the guidance from the guides on what they recommend to do with the situation. So I want to say about 3.5 to 4 months of really actually sort of like you said, you know, just kind of like testing the waters and the boundaries a little bit. He's much older than me. He's not an old man, but he's I get with you. So again, give it a few months of like getting to know each other. And things will start to kind of like the unlikely, it won't be as rigid, basically. It won't be as rigid. It won't be as like, you see what I'm saying? It won't be as closed, I guess, if you will, because there is an attraction there. It's just at the minute, it's just like, oh, I don't know whether or not to act on this type thing. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's still a little bit like cautious, a little bit dubious on whether or not to navigate straight ahead on course. But things start to move, I guess. 3.5, 4 months from now, things start to shift a little bit. Okay. I hope that was useful for you, and I'm glad to see you kind of like moving on. That's nice. It's liberating, I'm sure. Okay, so where are we at, guys? I'm very impatient, but I'll try to. Listen, the process is happening. You don't have to wait for anything, my love. The process is actually happening. It's just naturally. Oh, caramel fudge. Sorry. That just made my mouth water. That sounds good. Is it good? Sorry. I may need help to keep my options open there. I may need to keep my. Listen, it is all up to you, Ariana. I think in the next 3 to 4 months, it's just one of those situations where I think it's a more of a getting to know that allows for certain barriers to like naturally, progressively sort of come down. Oh, it sounds good. Have some for all of us. Okay. We're living our ice cream life vicariously through M22 right now. That's what's up. We love that. Oh, snap. Oh, dude. No, that's what's up. Okay, guys. Let's see who's on the list. Right, Mina? Right, caramel fudges. Sounds so good. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you. M22. Put the ice cream down. Put the ice cream down. Type. Give us your question, M22. No, not Scorpio. Pisces. Aquarius, Pisces cusp. Oh, Pisces full moon season, definitely. It got me. I'm still adjusting from that. I'm still like coming down. It is you, M22. Yes. My sun sign, I'm Aquarius, Pisces cusp, and my moon sign's Capricorn. February 21st. Pisces moon. Oh, Mina, intense. My partner's a Pisces moon. It's intense. Oh, interesting. Rising's Pisces as well. Well, that's nice. So emotionally, how the world receives you actually aligns, which is nice. And Sun's Capricorn. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting, Mina. Interesting. I like that. The Capricorn actually grounds that Pisces energy. That's why it was interesting for myself as well, because I'm Virgo rising. And I've got Capricorn moon, and then I've got like the Aquarius Pisces cusp, but it's very, yeah, I can imagine, because the Pisces moon is very intense. It's very intense. That's what, listen, being a Pisces sun, I'm so grateful that my moon's a Capricorn, and I'm so grateful as well for the fact that I'm on the cusp of Aquarius, Pisces as well, because that sometimes helps me to be able to intellectualize my emotions. Oh, that's what's up. Cancer, Leo, Aqua. That's what's up, Sarah. I love that. Yeah, listen, I need that earth. I need that earth energy, because listen, Pisces sun, okay? I can you guys, literally, I don't know if you guys saw it a while ago, but I really did tune out of the room. Like, I went to a whole different place for a minute. That's the life of Pisces. Dreamer, okay? Like, out there, different realms all the time. So I'm very grateful for my Capricorn moon. God knew what he was doing. Mind you, sometimes I can be quite like detached from my emotions because of the Capricorn moon. So sometimes I speak about my emotions instead of speaking from them, and it can throw people off a little bit. But I'm like, dang, I'm not the emotion. I'm simply feeling the emotion. Let me express the emotion. It's all very interesting. I like this, Leo. Now, I would like to know their true feelings and thoughts towards me. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's put the question up there firstly so I don't lose that. And then, yes, being Pisces is already a challenge. Yes, I definitely want to try it. I was like, oh, what ice cream? See, I'm eating with my mind. I'm eating it with you with my mind. I'm gonna try me some of that for real. For real, that sounds so good. And I know it is winter, like you said, but it sounds good. You just snuggle up and get warm. Okay, so we want to go with Leo's. Let's start with the feelings, and then we're going to unpack the thoughts because that's how the actual like question came through. So we'll start with the feelings. What's the Leo's feelings towards M22? Like genuinely, give us the tea, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, interesting. All introverted energy. So there's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily being shared. I wish you could send some over too. You and me both. You and me both. This sounds so good. Right. Give us the thoughts. Like, what's the Leo's thoughts? Like the thoughts towards M22. Okay. What's the okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah, they are. They are. They keep a lot of themselves guarded, from what I can see. So, gonna keep it completely like honest with you. Gonna keep it completely trill. There isn't going to be anything that develops with this situation. They have their own agenda with the situation. I don't think that they want anything as far as a commitment from this. Their thought on the situation is that they're not necessarily looking for like a long-term romantic connection with the situation. Their feelings on the situation also aligns with their thoughts. If anything, they would simply be wasting your time, essentially. And that's just me being like completely honest, because that when they showed me this, they were like time waster. So this is a person that doesn't necessarily they're not aligned with the things that you perhaps want. I don't think that they are looking for a relationship. They're actually a little bit of a commitment phobe, to be fair, and that's probably why the universe is like, depending on how much time you're willing to. I would say waste because I don't think at the end of it they actually make a decision to commit to anything. Yes, they said they will contact me, but didn't really talk. I do like them, but thank you for your. Yeah, I have to be honest because I don't think that it's going to materialize into anything. I think that they're a little bit of a time waster. I don't think that they're looking for anything committal. I don't think that they're looking to commit to anything. And I think that they struggle with their ability to be direct in communicating that. So they may be inclined to kind of like just string you along for the most part. So save yourself some time. Computer said no. That's the Catherine Tate thing here in the UK. It's a little bit, yeah, but hey. It's a no, in terms of like a romantic long-term connection. But you can save yourself time by not necessarily sort of like putting your hopes into a situation that may pretty much just be disappointing in the end. Sorry, my love. But thank you for stopping into the space just in time to be able to get the clarity. So now you don't have to waste the time. That part. God is good. Sarah, my love, I hope that was useful for you there, M22. Sarah, are you in the building? Can we get your question? I am gonna actually go. Yeah, Samina, I'm so sorry, my love. I am going to actually go. I'm starting to like my energy is starting to come down now, and when that starts to happen, I know that it's my cue to sort of like leave. Whenever I do that and my channels get too low, then I'm more susceptible to what we spoke about earlier. Yeah, I think it needed to be said as well, because they were clear that the intentions, like as far as like the feelings, were also aligned with the thoughts as well. So they were very clear that this person, they've made up their mind about the situation. Okay. So Sarah, is Muhammad my person? Let me put the question up on the screen. There we go. Okay, let me pose a question to the guides in a way where they'll be able to sort of answer the question in a direct format. Mohammed, Sarah wants to know the connection. Sarah wants to know about the connection. Is he the person? What do you guys see on the situation? Okay, thank you. Okay, please clarify, guys. Oh, thank you. Oh, interesting. What does this mean? Sorry, I'm like, they're telling a whole little story. If you've seen by now, Sarah, I have to get the whole story together so that I can give you as much insight as possible with the situation. Okay, clarify, guys. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, Moon in Taurus. Okay, Moon in Taurus is still here. Okay, good. You'll be the last on the list for tonight. I think I'm gonna sort of like finish up after the reading for you. So what I'm seeing with the situation here, Sarah, short answer is a yes, but there's buts with the situation. I have to sort of like, because it's a direct question, essentially what you've asked is a direct question. So I like to unpack stuff because direct questions, listen, even when we get a direct answer, if you know life by now, it's hella complicated. So as much insight as we can get, the better, to know what else we're actually up against and what we have to sort of like navigate through. Oh, but I am 22. Thank you for stopping into the space. We appreciate you. So what I'm seeing with the situation, Sarah, they have genuine intentions, I guess, towards you. They, I guess, they do want it to be like they do want it to be a situation. Do they have kids? Can I ask you that? Do they have kids or do you have kids? Thank you for being here, beautiful. I appreciate you. Right? Definitely. Right? Oh, look at you guys sharing all the love. I love that. Okay. He's got no kids. And you've got no kids. Right? Bixby, I'm going to stop talking now because you're just sat here eavesdropping.
I didn't understand that.
That's because I wasn't really trying to speak to you, Bixby. Thank you. Stop listening to my conversations. It's rude. Right. Yeah. So with the situation, I had to ask that question because I needed to get an understanding of what the dynamics is in terms of codependence with the situation. I think, okay, thank you for clarifying. I think I believe that you guys potentially may have some spirit babies assigned to you. And that's what has made it a yes. Basically, long and short of the story. That's why I asked the question. That's why I asked the question. I think that there are spirits out there that are actively supporting the union of you and Muhammad being able to come together, because there are other life forms that are able to sort of come through that union. So the short answer is yes, they are your person, and you guys will have the opportunity to bear life together, which is nice. That's a good place to be with the situation. Their intention is to be able to kind of wife you, essentially. And they want to be able to build something very secure and solid. That's what's up. Yeah, Sarah, listen, they're out here kind of like letting it be known that they're here. Okay. So yeah, I'm glad that you feel their presence. They've already selected dad, so it's only a matter of waiting to see when that timeline actually manifests itself. But it seems like, yeah, there's forces that are championing this union. Okay. That's awesome for you. That's what's up. I love that. That's cute. That's cute. We love that. We love that. It's going to take some time. I'm going to say that much. Like, there's definitely the opportunity to be able to like enjoy each other for a significant period of time first. But they have, yeah, they've been selected. They've been selected as the candidate for Papa, which is nice. So we love that. That is a beautiful read, right? Thank you for coming in and asking the questions, Sarah. And thanks for sticking around. It was definitely worth like hanging in there for, right? Okay. Okay, let's get Moon in Taurus. Listen, you were quick, Moon in Taurus. That's how you get the job done. That is how you get the job done. Get the energy whilst it's like right there. I'm going to go with the energy cards because that's what my eyes were drawn to. And we'll kind of unpack that for you. What do we see in terms of opportunities for Moon in Taurus, like photography opportunities? What can you tell us about this, guys? Okay. It really was quick. I hope that was useful for you as well, by the way, Sarah. Thank you again for stopping in and sharing with us. Oh, interesting. Moon in Taurus. They've spoken. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes, right? But have to like make some things clear to you, okay? So with the situation, what I'm seeing, there is going to be opportunities that sort of presents itself to you in terms of the photography situation. Oh, listen, everything is saying yes, right? What I do see with the situation, however, because I think have you had to walk away from something to kind of like really like own this photography thing? Because they're saying you don't have to feel anxiety about whatever it is that you've walked away from. I think that it's so direct, guys. Like, I'm so glad that they're on it today. They're like, I've been waiting to speak, and I love that when they're direct. So what I'm seeing with the situation is that there's definitely going to be opportunities here with you with the situation. However, it's not going to come in the place or from the place that you would anticipate. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's not necessarily somebody that's like coming to give you money per se. This is something that there's a window of opportunity here for you, my love. Okay. So you will be in a position where you will have to kind of create. Yes, I just stepped out of my comfort zone a lot. Yeah, you will have to kind of like create create the window for other people to see. So there's this window of opportunity, but you have to basically like, like how you see in the mall, how they like set up like the window in the mall. That's kind of what you're doing with your photography situation. It's not just going to be somebody who's going to come and hand you money and say that they want this. It's really something that you're going to have to like specifically like you're going to have to be able to dress your shop. I don't know how else to put it because that's just how they're giving it to me. You're going to have to dress your shop. So essentially, this is something that you're going to have to like put into motion, right? You're going to have to let people know. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. Also, outside of that as well, there's I guess other things that's going to present itself to you. So there'll be other opportunities for work that will present itself to you. It won't necessarily. So there's one particular opportunity that they're showing me that it's not a paid exchange. It's not a paid exchange in terms of finances. It's more of legitimizing your photography services and what it is that you bring to the table. So there's one particular situation that is going to really be able to kind of like put you on a certain level, basically. And the exchange isn't money, it's more credibility. Yeah, it's more credibility. Sorry, Bixby's listening to my conversation again. I'm telling you, these monitors are getting serious these days. But yeah, so don't be discouraged if there's a situation that comes or shows up and it's not like they're not directly speaking about money. It's a breakthrough essentially that's happening for you on the other side of that. It's more a case of an opportunity for you to be able to get notoriety for your work by being able to connect with this opportunity essentially. And that's the thing that kind of like basically now people start to flock to your window essentially. Okay. So don't let that deter you if that opportunity shows up for you. Take the opportunity and use it to your advantage. Okay, because God gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want, but He gives you what you need to be able to generate and manifest what it is that you want. Sometimes He has to do that to see how bad we want the things we say that we want, because we can say that we want it and really not give that much effort at all. And willingness is important to be able to kind of manifest certain things. So to just get my name out there. And that's what the opportunity will do. That's exactly what the opportunity will do, Moon and Taurus. So keep doing what you're doing. There is going to be an opportunity that sort of like presents itself to you. Can we get a timeline, guys? Is that information that you guys can kind of like relay at this point? If there's a good connection, yes, we get that. There's a network of people. We understand that there's somebody. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So this is another factor to the situation as well, right? The situation is going to be like your network of people is going to be improving over the course of the next few weeks. So you will have to kind of like compromise. It's not necessarily going to be the situation where you kind of like have like this overnight situation. They're genuinely my friends. They are the only people that are constantly with me all the time, observing me experience life. So we are genuinely friends. Like that's genuinely how I talk to my guides, even when I'm on my own. And we laugh and have conversations together all the time. Like it's literally like they're here 24/7. So I always have a party. But yes, what they're showing is that the situation is going to be improving over the course of the next few weeks, and you are going to have to make some compromises with the situation. So it's not necessarily going to be like as quick of a turnaround as you would perhaps want to see with the situation. But I think as well, that's because there are some things that you're still that are still undecided for you. And I think that time span is being gifted because that's how they're recommending it to me. Sorry, Bixby's listening to me again. It's being gifted to you, that time span, to allow you enough time to be able to come to a decision on some of these things that are still undecided for you. And then once some of those decisions have kind of been locked in, there you go. Things really start to like progress from there. I'm going to say it's going to be a slow start. It is going to be a slow start because they're showing me there's like, so it's letting me know that there's like a lapse in between like each referral, if you will, because it seems like that's really where you actually start to become known through referrals. And that's where things start to be able to sort of pick up for you from there. So yeah, just take your time with it. In the next few weeks, you're still going to be in the process of making a few decisions that actually like really sets you up for the path to success with the situation. Okay. Just stay focused. Like the network is coming in as well to be able to kind of like position you to be able to make certain decisions as well. Okay, I hope that was useful for you, my love. That is it. We are finished for tonight. This was good, guys. I actually really enjoyed. Do you see me working for a company or anything at the end of the day? I do see working with a company. I don't see working for a company, but I do see working with a company. And this is why I said that it's about a network situation, because I think that the situation that happens where you're working with the company, because it's more of a freelance basis where you're working with the company, it allows for you to be able to get yourself in a certain position where referrals are able to start to come through to you from that connection, basically. Okay. So yeah. Oh, that's what's up, Mina. I loved having you here. Thank you so much for your time and energy tonight to even be able to kind of like keep the list going. You're awesome. Dang. Hopefully sending you some good vibes for some nice, sweet travels tonight. You know, feeling good, positive vibes for tomorrow. Okay. Good stuff, Moon in Taurus. I'm glad that you do understand, because it's something specific for you that's going to be sort of like coming through. Okay. Thank you, my love. Thank you for coming into the space and sharing with us. We appreciate you. Right, guys. What a Friday night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Honestly, whenever I come into these spaces, I've been such a recluse. Whenever I come into these spaces, I feel like, okay, right, I'm back. I'm back to myself again. I don't know about you guys, but when I spend a lot of time on my own, especially because I'm always like talking to my guides and stuff, I end up being a little bit more in tune with their frequency and their company than I am with people. I do donations as well, Moon in Taurus. All the details are in the bio, Counsciouslyconetted for Cashapp, and the PayPal link as well, I think, is in the bio. I appreciate you guys so much. I do only sort of show up on Fridays. Fridays is when the week is over, and I know that I have like the opportunity to give you guys my undivided attention as well. Okay, I'm gonna be doing like other content. I promise you guys, during the new year, I'm gonna be doing like other content during the week. The Demon Hunting 101, that definitely has to be a thing. Don't worry, I got you guys on that. I'm just trying to get to a place where I have the room to be able to do content again. And once I'm there, I promise you guys are going to be sick of me. You guys are going to be sick of me. I'm going to really come in as well and like start doing stuff on helping other people to develop their own skill sets as well. I love the conversation that we had with Kate earlier about her clairaudient senses. There's loads of things that one can do to activate their natural gifts as well. So I definitely want to start having some conversations about that, where we can actually start to really do some stuff. Oh, Shruti, hi! Oh my days, my love. You've literally missed everything. You missed everything, Shruti. I am good. I am good. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. No, don't be sorry. I'm sorry. I've literally just kind of like shut up shop. You were like one of the first. I can imagine. Do you know what? Seeing as you got up, throw me your question. I'll pull out a deck and leave that as my final reading for the night. Yeah, I know. I know that you guys proper like make an effort to be able to actually come into the space and get these questions off your chest so that they can be answered. God threw you in at the right time. Throw your question out there. We'll kind of pull a deck of tarot and see what we get for you. Because I know that you were here in the earlier list as well. Okay. You gonna give us your question, Shruti? We're gonna get. Yeah. No, Shruti might be typing. But dozing off. Okay, go for it. What's the question? And guys, I'm assuming that you've got okay, Abe. Okay. Yeah, they were first on the list as well. I did see that. Okay. We have sorry, I'm like listening in as well to get confirmation if we've got like the green light to be able to like unpack their stuff. We've got the green light, so that's fine. Okay. So Ape is having a hard time with his girlfriend. She's giving mixed signals, just to sort of like give the whole context. She talks about marriage and then gives a cold shoulder. He kind of really loves her. Okay, what's his question? Does he want to get an understanding of what her intentions are? Okay, let's get some clarity on that for him. What's going on with Ape's girlfriend? What's her actual like intentions with the situation as far as the relationship? Oh God. Bye. Yeah, we have no time for that. I won't even respond to that. He want to know her feelings and future of the relationship. Okay. What's her intentions? What's Ape's girlfriend's intentions towards the relationship? Let's make. Oh, it's a whole thing. Damn. It's a whole thing, Shruti. Sorry, I'm gonna like put the cards out because it's a whole story. So clearly her intentions are she's got a lot going on. Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing with the situation is that where are we? Okay. Yeah, I think that looking at the situation, she's just kind of being a little bit manipulative with the situation, right? From what I can see, her intentions on the situation at the minute, from what I can see, she's not necessarily in a good place with even being able to juggle the relationship right now. There isn't really like a good alignment in terms of her work personal life balance. And I think that's also something that's probably causing a lot of irritation and a lot of frustration for her, maybe. So he's getting a lot of the backlash of that energy, where she's already, it's kind of like passive energy. So it's like passive aggression. She might be seeming cold because she's actually irritated about other things as well that she's kind of navigating through, but she's not communicating it in the best way with the situation. I think she's being a little bit of a gaslighter. That's the best way that I can put it. She's kind of like gaslighting situations where she's doing one thing and almost telling him, like, no, that's not what you're experiencing. But she really is doing these things. She really is kind of like being a little bit cold and withdrawn. But I think that she doesn't necessarily realize that that's what she's doing in the situation. Yeah. When he tries to talk, she is silent. Yeah. I don't think she actually sort of like realizes that that's what she's doing in the situation, kind of like basically being like cold. And I don't want to say vindictive, but that is the word that's coming to me with the situation, because like that's where a lot of this like nasty energy that he's experiencing is coming from. It's like this resentful little spirit that's a little bit vindictive, for lack of a better way of putting it. So he's like engaging with that vindictive personality type of us. Which can be quite like emotionally abusive. And I have to say emotionally abusive because that's how they're sort of like putting it across to me, because it's like manipulation with the situation. Let me get the romance cards to sort of get some clarity on how we see things playing out with the situation. How do you see things actually sort of playing out ultimately with this situation with these guys then? Okay, and his girlfriend, how do you see things actually sort of like playing out for them in terms of the relationship? Make it very clear. Okay. And if so, what happens ultimately? Thank you. Okay. So they're saying like, it's just a case of like staying optimistic about the situation that's playing out, because ultimately like this could be a really deep, like the one kind of connection, like this is my person connection. It's just that I think that she's actually dealing with other stuff and it's causing a lot of irritation beneath the surface, and she's not communicating that in the best way. And she's also shutting down, which is causing this stirring up that's occurring in their relationship at the minute. Mars is also in retrograde at the minute to force certain conversations to be had, certain uncomfortable conversations, like to create conflict essentially, so that certain conversations can be had. So this is just an opportunity, I guess, for them to be able to hash some of these things out. I think she has to work at getting better with how she communicates her feelings on certain situations, because a lot of this stuff, she is displeased with certain things, I guess, that he's doing or has done, and she hasn't necessarily vocalized that in a way to really help him understand how he can do better or do things differently. Okay. So it's really probably impacting her to really be able to have these conversations that she's like been putting off just for sake of conflict avoidance. Um, yeah, I think that they ultimately will be able to get past these little bumps and hurdles in the situation, but it really is an opportunity for her to learn how to actually articulate what it is that she's feeling instead of being a little bit cold, because it's showing up as a little bit bitchy, unfortunately. And she's not aware consciously of what it is that she's doing. She's just a little bit snappy at the minute, which is unfortunate, but I guess she's learning how to navigate through some of these behaviors. Okay, and he's along for the ride, I guess, because they do get past it. They just kind of need to keep the optimism and focus on the things that are going great in the relationship, because I think that's her problem as well. She may be focusing on some of the things that aren't necessarily all the way there in terms of what she wants at the minute, and she's not articulating that too well either, which is what's causing a little bit of a breakdown in their communication. Okay, but they'll get past it. They just kind of have to work a little bit hard to be able to move on. Okay, my love, I hope that was useful for you, because that's what's going on. Pretty much. And on that note, guys, I'm going to love you guys and leave it there for you guys. It is now just gone midnight, so I am going to get myself ready to go to bed as well. I guess I'll see you guys next Friday. We'll see how the week goes, right? I'm sending you guys much love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It's been fun as always. I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to close out this space. I'll catch you guys next Friday. Mwah. Love.
All the things they said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head and tend to keep her mind at war. All the things they said to hold her back, they keep her locked inside of all the times when she's been hurt before.
All right, guys. I will catch you on the flip side next Friday. Thank you so much, Mina. I appreciate you guys. I'm sending you guys lots of love and lots of prayers your way as well. Good vibes, positive energy, all that good stuff. Spring thing get your way. I'll catch you guys next week. Sarah.